All right. So someone asked me to make a follow up to the Spinner EA, and basically to allow you to take manual trades, to be able to manage manual trades. So um, instead of just the hedge aspect of the EA, so instead of having to take trades like the EA taking trades like we have in Spinner, so that an individual can take a trade and then the hedging mode of the EA is activated. So I worked on that, and I think we have something workable. So I'll just walk you through how to set it up, and then look at how it works, and just discuss a little bit of applications that we can put it to. So let's get started. So put the spin off. So on EU, let's say we want to trade EU, just place the spin off right on the particular pair that we want to trade. All right. Now, there might be cases where you have multiple EAs running. So what I can just advise you do is you might have an EA that actually takes trades, and then you want the spinner to kick in, then you can just open a different chart and put that particular EA on that chart. Just make sure that it only takes a particular trade and it won't take another trade while there are trades running. Else you would defeat the whole purpose of the hedging aspect of the EA. So, but for now, let's just assume we want to take a manual trade. So we've placed this on this. Let's go to maybe H4 and then want to take a buy trade. I'll say sell trade, whichever one, whatever I want to do. So let's just take a sell trade so that we can just see how this works. Let me open the terminal so that you can see this in operation. So I'm going to just come in here. All right, so let's reduce this to 0.01. All right. And then we just click the sell button. So we want to sell by market. All right, so we sold here. So just as we click the sell button, we can see that the spin-off has automatically placed a hedging buy trade. All right, so if you remember, if you've watched the previous video on how spinner works, I would advise you watch that. And even before that, watch the video in the description of the spinner video, which talks about hedging, how it works, and the mathematics behind it. So you will know that when we sell, we actually place a buy trade. All right, so we place a buy trade so that if this thing begins to move against us, when it gets here, it's going to open a particular buy trade, and then we'll ride a move up. If it comes down, if it begins to come down, if we open a buy trade here, then it's going to place another sell trade here, so that if it begins to come back down, then we'll ride the direction, whichever way it decides to go. We're in the trade and we make a bit of money. So spin-off order placed, tell you where the order is placed and the lot size that would have been used. And we can see that right here. All right. So let's just close this. Now, when you close trades manually, make sure that you close the associated pending order. It won't do that. It's designed to only close the trade, designed to only delete orders if TP is hit. All right, so that's usually the only condition under which it will do that. So let's just do something real quick so that we can. All right, so let's look at the settings of the spin-off. Let's look at the settings. So the main settings that you have here is the gap pips. So let me take a trade and then I'll just explain it again. So we come here, we took a sell the last time, let's do a buy. All right, so we took a buy now, so we have a sell stop in place. All right, so if we take this down, you can actually see where our TP is for the buy. All right, and then we'll have a sell trade right here. Now let's look at the settings so I can explain what we have on the screen. Let's go to properties. So the gap pips. So we took a buy right here. The gap pips is the distance between the trade you took and where you have your hedge trade. So in this case, we took a buy. So our hedge trade is a sell. So the distance between where you placed your order or you placed your trade and where you have the next order is the gap pips. So in this case, this is set to 50 pips. Our TP is set to, so of course, TP seems quite obvious. So that's your TP in pips. All right. Now the multiplier is the ratio with which is going to be increasing subsequent trades. So we've taken this. This is the first trade. The second trade will be a multiple of 2.2. So just like we took this 0.1 times 2.2 is about 0.022, but you can't take the other two in MT4. So most brokers will only allow you to go to 0.02. So that's micro lot size. That's the limit to which you can place your orders. Now the max number of trades, so the maximum number of trades we should have in all the iterations that have been taken. Please watch the video on hedging to understand this better. Mitigation number. So I explained this in the last spinner video. So let's see, trades are, we've taken this number of trades. Instead of using this multiplier, we'll begin to use this particular multiplier and then the slippage. So the main thing that you just need to pay attention to here is that you need to make sure that you have the spin-off running on the same pair that you want to trade. So if you have the spin-off running on AU and then go and place a trade on EU, it won't work. All right, so it won't work. So you need to make sure that you have it, have the spin-off placed on exactly the same pair as you wish to trade. All right, and have it there constantly so that it can continue working. If for any reason the system should go off at a point where it needs to place a trade, of course, I don't need to tell you that that will just affect the whole run of the system. So you need to have this running on a VPS or a system that is always online so that this can work optimally. All right, so that's basically that. Can test it out and then let me know what you think.